Welcome back. Time for part 3 of this build, bag number 3. In part 2 we did the base, which is quite a large assembly. So for this part today, what we're going to be doing is the tank treads that go onto the side of the base here. So there's 2 identical assemblies. As you can see, I've got a lot of tank tread parts. So this will be a pretty quick build. All the parts are laid out on the table here. Let's get right into it and see how it goes. I've said this many times before. You get a pin in the wrong spot and it comes back to haunt you. Well, I'm just not paying attention. I got these in the wrong spot. On both sides here. I don't think I'd ever win any speed build competitions. Make too many mistakes. Okay. My fingers are still sore from last time, pushing all these pins in. Okay, double check, is everything in the right spot? 2 away, 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap. Yep, everything looks good. I'm going to tie all these parts together. This I have to be a little bit careful as well. As long as I line up to the parts below, I should be good. These are actually going on the pins relatively smoothly. And we got some wheels here, or cogs. How do these get installed? Should go in here. Push that through. Or is it lined up? Oh, that's a tight fit. I'm assuming it gets pushed in all the way. The other wheel on this side. Oh, that doesn't turn. It's just, oh, that's for the treads to grab onto, I guess. Maybe? It certainly doesn't turn. Okay, 2 go on this side. I think right here. I'm not sure that's the right spot, but I guess we'll find out shortly. Should be in line with this one, so maybe I should have done the front first. 6 of these wheel assemblies. Now these all get put through oh my goodness. It astounds me. Well, I guess maybe it shouldn't really surprise me. Just how many mistakes I can make. All right, so I'm trying to put this part in, which does go here, but it won't go through, and it's because this wheel is in the way. Well, this gear, it's not really a wheel. And the reason why the gear is in the way is it's not supposed to be in this slot, it's supposed to be on the outside here. So to fix that, I've got to take these two things off and take this piece off. So we'll go ahead and correct that. Not the end of the world, but I can leave those studs in. Just disappointing that I'm not paying attention. Should be able to pop this off. That one's a little bit of a tighter squeeze. Oh, that's because it's the pin is can't come through that side. So I'm going to move that over. I'll just do one side at a time here. That's supposed to be out there. Well, now it can turn. That makes a lot more sense because here it can't turn. Here it can turn freely. That should have been the giveaway. Go ahead and put that back on. Same thing over here. Well, and here I was worried that this particular video was going to be too quick because it's just two identical assemblies. I managed to give myself a lot of stuff to talk about. Move that over. Get that started. Push that back through. Look at that. Spins like crazy. Much better. Okay, now these should drop right through. Should I do them one at a time? Probably. Okay. I suppose I can futz around with the positioning a little bit later. Now, make sure I get the right number of studs over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one should be right there. Okay. We have a bunch of wheels. They should all freely move. Some of them are a bit tighter than others. Okay, we've got our two identical assemblies. I've adjusted the wheels slightly so that they move quite freely. Now we need to put them into the main frame here. Now I got to make sure I get the orientation correct. That's going to be very important. Now, in the previous build, this assembly has a drive shaft which will turn a wheel up here, and that has a connecting part which is supposed to go into these pins here. So let's see if I can get this showing this properly. So this should slide right into there. Oh, what a perfect fit that is. But this pin looks like it's too short. It doesn't even touch this. Is it supposed to? Oh, I need to push. Oh, okay. I'm good. I was freaking out. I'll try to show this. You can see this is as far as this part goes, and the pin does not touch the turning element here, but I think I'm going to have to push this in once I get my other pins done here. So I think I'm good. This sits nicely in there. These red pins get pushed in to lock the assembly in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other side put on the same way. I just like how this little tray here, everything lines up perfectly. Get the pins pushed in. So now everything is attached to the main frame. We're going to push these other pins in as well. These ones are a little bit harder. Oh, actually, they went in not too bad. Oh, this side's struggling a bit. I'll get this in first. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, sometimes the pins just, if they're not perfectly aligned in the holes. There we go. Now everything's firmly attached. Look how smooth that runs. But I'm not tied into the gear yet. I'm just impressed by how smooth that is. Oh, this whole set's going to be so great when the rest of it is put on, because look how big this is. And there's still, how many bags left? Up to 9. There's still 5 numbered bags of parts left to go, and they're huge. Anyway, let's get this pin put in. So push this into the accepting part. On this side should be the same. Okay, so right now it's still free to move, but now this gear is connected into the main drive shaft. So when I turn the gear up top, you can see that these will turn here, which won't do anything until we get the treads put on. So the treads are next. Okay, we got 2 sets of tank treads. Now to get them installed, which I always find tricky. Might be easier that they're larger. So the best way to do this is to lay them out. Get this out of the way for a minute. Lay them out, and then this, just have it sit in there. No, it's going to go on the black gear here. Right. So get the black gear lined up in the middle. Turn this so we can do it this way. These should just wrap over and snap together. Wrap over, snap together. Treads tricky because they have to be loose enough to be able to be installed, but tight enough that they won't come off when it moves. There we go. It even makes a nice sound. So now if I turn the gear, it will turn the treads. Now I think I mentioned in, I don't know if it was bag 1 or bag 2 or part 1 or part 2, there's a motor assembly that goes with this. So at some point, when we're finished, this will all be motorized, which will be a great way to feature the final build of the set. Anyway, this is the end of part 3. We got our tank treads put on. So part 4, we're going to start building up from this base. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.